All right, race fans, we're back here tonight, man. We got some Spartan Sim Racing League, and been off the last couple of weeks, and if you're in the Carolina area, actually in the South, basically Tennessee, Carolina, anywhere in that area, been hit with some bad winter storms. Which last week the bad one, this week I guess if you look at winter storms, the good one is all snow. So hopefully you're having a fun time out there, as we're going to have here on the track here tonight. As tonight's your favorite band night, man, Wes. This should be interesting. Some good paint jobs.
Yeah, I know. I was looking through the field earlier today, as well as what the driver's been posted in the Discord. Got Guns N' Roses, the Foo Fighters, there's Metallica, there's Twisted Sister, there's a Kiss car out there. So a lot of different, mostly rock, I've noticed, schemes, but all good nonetheless.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, it ought to be, interesting here. And, as far as the real world racing goes, it got kicked off with the 24 hours of Daytona. But now, unfortunately, I'm 30 minutes away from Bowman Gray. And unless they was going to put studded chains on those cars, they weren't racing in there. That just wasn't happening. They're sitting on 15 inches of snow at least. So
hey, my dad said put them on snowmobiles and send them out.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, they raced on dirt one time. Why couldn't they just put? I said, hey, look, just throw them some some street snow tires on them things and tell them to go around the track. But qualifying ended up here tonight. We're going to see who puts it on pole. Looks like Thomas Kolmacheski is the man up front. I hope I ain't forgot some of these darn names. I ain't said them in a while. But actually, I think we got our little warm up here, so we'll take our little warm up here and talk a little bit about what's going on. We've had some great racing this season so far, and these guys out here, it's been out for the last couple of weeks and whatnot, but, back at it here today. Kentucky, though, I like this track. It was my first win on iRacing in the trucks, and my first ever win in iRacing on the officials, and so I enjoy it. I probably raced this track, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of times, and it's a very... Now, and I don't know so much in this car, but obviously in a fixed setup in the trucks, it very you want to maintain those tires. Your tires will definitely go away after a while. These are open setups. We've talked about that many a time, Wes. So it's going to depend on how they have these cars set up. Still can get very, very slick out here on this track and get kind of loose.
Yeah, and like we said, setups, open versus fixed, that's going to adjust a lot and really going to determine how hard the drivers push in corners, what lines they run, and their tire wear, most importantly. What I've always been told, if you're taking that low line, it's the best place to save tires all around. You'll keep the heat out of them pretty good there. But Kentucky, I just find as a fun track. Not my exact favorite to drive, just because of the difference between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Never could quite get that grip into mind to where about how they're completely different. I always look at a lot of these intermediate ovals of being 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. They're just mirrors of each other, but not the same here.
Yeah, and you're right there too. I know when I raced it there, and again, I'm obviously comparing the trucks on a fixed setup as opposed to these guys on an open style setup where they can whip out anything they want to it. But yet, truck to these Xfinity cars are almost the same, trucks to the next gen cars are almost pretty much the same as far as downforce and it relatively goes in a track like this. So if you take away that open setup aspect, how they would drive would be almost similar. And like what you just said, going into the turns, especially 1 and 2, you want to kind of try to bring it down to that low end, maybe just a hair up, and then just kind of let it cruise off the turn. But then you talk about 3 and 4, it reminds me almost like Richmond. You're just going to kind of drive it up and just going to slowly try to push to the wall. You can keep it in the middle and maybe down, kind of middle off, but it's going to want to try to push you up towards that wall going in.
Yeah, and that's really a fun thing. I also, one thing I say this anytime I'm talking about a track, the majority of my experience with tracks come off of console games. So We're talking NASCAR Heat 5, NASCAR 25, anything with that. And Kentucky was a weird one because, to me at least, it felt like the backstretch wall kind of came in at you as you entered turn 3 as well.
Yes, yeah, and also turn 2. Yeah, turn 2. You know, and I think we're going to see it tonight. You can get very slick coming out of turn 2. It's a throttle oriented track here. I will say that. That's what I'm saying. Tires, in the fixed side of things, tires really will go away. It takes. I'll just reference back to where I was. You know, we had, I think it was 35 laps was the total race. You could go that whole distance without pitting, but let me just say this: you're going to be on eggshells by the time you get to the end of that run, and I think that's what we're going to see tonight. So even with these open setups and these guys the way they are, it's going to chew the tires up. Now, I like what you just said, the wall coming at you. Coming out of turn 2, yeah, you're going to want to glide up to the wall, you know, coming out, and sometimes it's going to smack a little bit. But see right here, 3 and 4, you can see how it just kind of goes all the way up the track? Kind of like Michigan, too. Michigan's the same way out of 3 and 4, or out of 4.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one for sure, I feel, tonight. We, like you said at the very beginning, we've had some good races so far this year. The past several have been really good. We've seen long runs and everything. So hoping to see that again tonight. The slickness out of 2, I think we even saw during practice before qualifying a couple cars spinning out of it.
I think it's going to come down to the guy who can save tires. I talk a little bit about tracks, and unfortunately on iRacing, there's not many tracks that tires really matter. I think tires tonight matters. We usually say track position is king. I think tonight that you can see somebody come through the field easily. This is one of very few tracks that you'll be able to do that on. And again, just going referencing off what I know in the past, and what these guys are going to be, you know, ahead of them here, you know, even with the open setups, it's if you are a guy that likes a very loose car, you probably at the end of the run are going to have a very hard time with this thing. You're really going to have to drive that car, and I think we might see some guys who are very conservative minded be up front tonight, who knows how to save, who knows how to sit back, because you can what's the word I'm looking for, optimize that here on this track.
Yeah, I know we always talk about track position is key. We'll say, oh, they have 20 to 30 lap better tires. Well, guess what? Dirty air plays a lot. So if you're saying you think tires are going to prevail over here, I feel that's going to be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, and the reason I say it, and I'm referencing again off of the fixed setups, you know, it's a whole different ballgame when you go to the open setups. Obviously, it's going to come into the factor of how they have the car set up. But again, just knowing the tendency of this track, there's not many of them out on iRacing. I'm with you on that one. It's really, lack of a better word, kind of sad, really, that you can have 30 lap newer tires and still only gain a half a second or eight tenths on a guy, you know, or maybe a second on him, when you should be running him down easily. But there's only a handful of tracks that you can do that with, and I feel like this might be one of them. But there again, it's going to boil down to how these cars are set up, how you're going to drive them. You know, right now Hammond's out there in warm-up. He's at the top. You know, we got Genningsman. Now, look at this. This is interesting. Like I said, we might see a driver up front tonight that normally is kind of really conservative. And Genningsman is one of those that, you know, he doesn't always have the best qualifying there, Wes, but he tends to come through the field methodically. And right now he's looking good here in this warm-up. So keep an eye on him. I think this track might favor his driving style.
I completely agree with you. Genningsman is always someone we see. If Genningsman qualifies in the top 5, and it's a track that goes for green very, very long, a race at least, I think Genningsman wins it.
Okay.
He's very good at getting his way through the traffic, through the pack, and he always ends up towards the front at the end. And then another one we want to talk about, he said it the past couple times he's won and we've interviewed him, Greg Carr. He says he's the more old school, patient, waiting for everybody to use up their stuff, and then he's just slowly, methodically just driving around, having a little bit of fun. He says as right there we see somebody sideways off the tube, but Greg Carr says that he's one of the guys that he just lets the car come to him. He doesn't try to overdrive it. So if we're talking about saving tires, Greg Carr's another one I think that might win it tonight.
And, you know, when we go back, and I think a track like this, like you said, and that mentality, I think is really going to favor a driver like that. The problem is we go back to what we talked about before. There's not a lot of them out there, and if that's I'm the same way. I always like trying to see what the car would come to me or the truck would come to me. Problem is, I would never get up there because, again, what we talked about, the dirty air. It seemed like the momentum of the tracks. And then you come to a place like this, and then boom, there you go. So, and then what we're seeing right here, obviously, is what we're talking about. We've seen some guys getting loose off turn 2 there, getting really tight coming up in turn 3 and 4. I really feel like it's going to be a throttle management style track.
Yeah, and throttle control, it's always different with each track. Super Speedways, like, it's not about throttle control, it's about how well you can manage dragging the brake.
Yeah.
Short tracks, it is a lot of throttle control getting off those tight, slow corners to get the speed down the straights. And then intermediate tracks, it's a different type of throttle control. You're looking at between maybe half, 3/4 throttle to getting up to full throttle. And it's that getting up there that's very, very tricky. You want to talk about a great track to know about throttle control, and I learned this personally on Wednesday, North Wilkesboro. We already went there this season, but the exits off of 2 and 4, that is all about how well you manage the throttle.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got our warm up here, man. Counting down just a little bit. It's getting set to go green flag tonight at Kentucky. Should be a solid race here. It races different from pretty much about any of the, I believe, 1.5 mile style tracks. So intermediate style tracks, that is. So totally different style track in itself. You would think, oh, no, it races about to say no. You'd have to be out here to see, but let's grid them up. Let's look, see who we got here tonight. The man on pole, we're going to put it out there. Thomas Kolmacheski puts it up front with Joe Bender there in second. We got Shane Clore. He's starting down third. Joshua Hyatt going to start in fourth. Fifth place, we got William Phillips. Sixth place starting there, Ben Stevens. Seventh place is Kyle Westwood. Eighth place, we got Alex Hammonds. Ninth place starting there is Kyle Gerlach. 10th place, Greg Carr. 11th place starter is Mark Sanchez. And starting into 12th is Alex Carr. 13th place back here, we got Dylan Grusmacher. Going to be right there in 13th. 14th, we got Dave Fuge. And 15th, we got Colton Gardner. 16th place starter is Joshua Hart. 17th, Justin Boyles. 18th, Chad Kibble. 19th, we got Brian Alphin. 20th with J.P. Jones. 21st, we got Art Nicotera. 22nd, Dakota Jorgensen. 23rd, Michael Seymour. And then 24th, Chad Ginningsman. And we just talked about Ginningsman. And now we're really going to see whether or not how well he can drive and come through the field, because he's starting dead last.
Yeah, he's starting way back there, but based on what we've seen from him before, I think he's going to get his way up to the front at the end eventually.
Yeah. You feel like all the crews turned heavily towards left turns. Might be. Well, if they turn towards right turns, that might be a bad thing. I don't know. I'm not a crewman, so I don't know how well that would work.
Better than tuning for right turns.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. Well, Cole Macheski up front here. John Bender right there, too. Another one. Again, we just talked about it. You might see somebody new up here tonight who this track just might surprise you again. Some of the guys, and missing someone out here. Tucker. Yeah.
Yeah, I know his schedule is probably getting busier with the Road to the Pros starting and everything, so
okay.
He's looking to probably focus more on that.
It never showed up. He was
trying to, and then he's also got he's working on getting into it.
Okay. Well, the reason I say that is because his license never showed pro. That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then there's also the iRating cap that I know of. I think he might be beyond that.
Okay. Well, here we go, man. Going in, pace trucks in, getting set to go green. Kentucky Speedway tonight. Spartan Sim Racing Master Series here. And the not the checker jet. Green flag out, and they get going pretty good.
Olmacheski and Clore, great start. Clore right into the back of the 69 to give them to where they're both clear of the 13 on the outside right away.
Yeah, and this is a track too. You know, we talked about sometimes tracks where you want to try to get everything you can. You see the battle here for the lead with Olmacheski and Clore. You know, a lot of times you're going to want to try to do that with your tires like they are. But again, I feel like you don't have to do that at this track. You can say, okay, let me be a little bit patient on the starts. I don't have to be as aggressive, and then kind of let this field kind of fan out. I mean, still good battle for the lead here, as you see Clore to the outside, Olmacheski on the inside. But they're again in the backside there behind them. They're kind of patient, just waiting to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, Clore, he's definitely got a rocket ship as well. He's honestly, I think he's got a better car at the starter run compared to Olmacheski in that 69. But I'm more interested, like you said, tire wear is probably going to be very bad here based off of how transitional it is, how well it's equal between trucks and the Cup, now new Cup cars, at least on iRacing. And if it's bad in the trucks, it's probably going to be bad in Cup. But we'll see what their fall off says later as compared to some of those that tend to sit back a little at the start.
Yeah, you're right. And again, I think tires is going to come into play. And hey, you're right, Chad. Yeah, I messed up there. We went to, you didn't know we was going to go green and checker just right off them. So Clore might get the advantage, but you can still see that inside lane. It's got a little run, but Clore's able to get him, so it took him a little bit to get it done. Hammond's falling back here. He's in 5th place spot to the high side. He's got a battle happening right around about the 5th place spot, but pretty much you're going to see a lot of single file and a lot of, maybe I'll call them little cluster style battles. Guys get side by side after a while, try to make those patterns. And that's just, you know, because you're going to see guys better at that long run than they are the shorter runs.
Yeah, those little clusters, they're typically the middle of the pack, which it seems everybody's almost single filed out right now. Middle of the pack, it's typically one huge cluster of 10 cars that we see battling hard at all times.
You got to go back here 21st. I mean, you got Genningsman's already up 3 spots here, and this is what he wants. Get it fanned out, long green flag run. This is going to help him out tremendously. You know, he wants to get up here, just pick them off one by one, be methodical coming through the field. You see Jorgensen and company there in the battle a little bit, but you're right. Normally where we'd see, you know, a bunch of side by side throughout back here around about 15, 10th place. Nonetheless, you're only going to see it a little bit like right here with 7th place, you know, single file, and the next thing you know is side by side. One of these, it's more of a driver style track than it is more of a, you're going to see a lot of just 3 wide, 2 wide battles here. This is going to be more of one of those driver style, throttle control, management style tracks, I feel, tonight. Unfortunately, some people say those are the boring races. They're just single file. Well, as a driver, though, it's really strategic. You got to figure out a way to get to that front.
As a spectator, yeah, it probably is boring to watch. You just see cars in a straight line all the dang time. But in the driver's seat, you're not thinking about that. You're thinking about, okay, I had a better corner here. I might be able to get to his outside or his inside quarter panel. Yep. Let's upset him a little bit and try to get the spot.
Yeah, and you're right. And that's the thing. You see it right here with this battle. You can see that's Stevens trying to look to the inside for a moment. You see Westwood going a little bit high. And you got Carr right there behind them, too. That's Alex Carr, by the way. Then Greg Carr's actually behind him. So Carr guy's right there along with it. And was it Dylan Gruesmacher? He's trying to see if he can't come through the field here. He's
Dave got a battle outside.
Huge, yeah. And you can just kind of see. I think the inside lane right now is the dominant lane. That outside, you know, you probably could with newer tires hold with it. You definitely be able to get a run off the turn, but I think this is an inside dominant track. From what I remember, usually you made most of your passes. Now, you see right there, going into 3, you kind of went up maybe a lane. You could probably do that 2 and 1 and 2 as the tires get a little bit older and be okay, but most of the time you're going to want to try to stay down as low as you can and let that car kind of glide off the turn.
Yeah, it's always wrapping the yellow paint is the shortest way around. Sometimes it's the fastest way around. But 3 and 4, I've I think it might be just a lane or two above the bottom is where a car wants to be. They're able to get a good amount of rotation and some great speed off the corner as well.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that one too. As you can see it, I mean, perfect example right there. So we're racing here with Dylan Grusmacher. Watch when he goes into that turn. You can see him just kind of diming it off down in there. That's turn 1 and 2. He goes all the way to the bottom, and then you're going to see him let that car kind of glide coming out of turn. But you don't want to really give too much throttle. That's where it gets really, really loose coming off turn 2. But then what you just said right there, going into 3, see how he didn't go all the way to the bottom. So perfect. And he's going to just kind of let it glide up there, almost like Michigan and what you'd see at Richmond in turn 4, coming off of them.
And it's amazing. You always talk about, oh, it's just a regular cookie cutter. Not all of them drive the same. Like, sorry, the intermediate tracks, they're all referred to as cookie cutters because they're all 1.5 mile quad oval or tri-oval, whatever they are, D-oval. And everybody's like, oh, it's just a regular cookie cutter. It's going to expect the same thing as blah, blah, blah. No, you're not. They drive differently. They each kind of have their own unique flair of sorts. Atlanta's basically super speedway. Texas, you've got that massive bump that hindered a lot of drivers off of turn 4 a lot. So in Kentucky, the fun thing about it, 2 different banks in the turns, 17 degrees in 1 and 2, 14 in 3 and 4. You don't think that'd make a lot of difference? But then looking here, the lines each driver takes between the two and how they're not the exact same, it does make a little bit.
Yeah, and again, you go back, you come out here, you look at the track, and you go, oh, this is just typical style racetrack, no big deal, get around it, but it drives so different than a lot of the other, cookie cutter style tracks as they put them out. But here the next couple laps, folks, we're going to remember a guy that unfortunately back before Christmas time, in a plane crash, Greg Biffle. And if you've ever watched NASCAR back well in the early, maybe late 90s or mid 90s, all the way up into the 2000s, you remember Greg Biffle. He drove for Jack Roush. Unfortunately, in a plane wreck here in NC, and he lost his life along with his family and his kids, which was just a tragedy in itself. But we're coming around here. He drove the number 16 machine, and we're trying to just remember him on all the races here this season and what he's done, even after his career was over, what he did for racing and for what he did and anything. But as they come across the line, we're gonna remember the number 16 Greg Biffle here tonight at Kentucky. And as they got that lap there too, Wes, I tell you, so just a great, awesome career, man, that Biffle had with Roush and whatnot, and a lot of, he set some standards out here for some great racing, and especially off the track and what he did, humanitarian wise for people who needed it and so forth and so on. But awesome man, awesome guy all around. And it's just a tragedy that it happened, but nonetheless, man, I know he's probably sitting around watching, saying, hey, look, you're still racing and he's loving it.
Yeah, and like you said, it's not just what he did in the car, but what he did out of it afterwards. So that's honestly what a lot of people, they either loved or hate him in the car afterwards. They kind of maybe hopefully grew a little bit more respect and started liking him a little bit more.
Right.
But back to on track, I mean, we've had a nice little battle for the lead. 3 cars kind of separated, with Clore a little bit clear of second and third as they go side by side across the line.
Got Hammonds right there, looked on the inside. He got Kolmacheski up the track a little bit. That could be here. Now's when we're going to start seeing around about here the 17 laps in, where these tires are going to start. You're going to start noticing, all right, look, how much have I saved? How much grip do I got here? What can I do? What can I do with this car? And now's where you're going to start seeing people that are better on the long run. You see Hammonds right now. We saw him in warm-up. He was very fast there. And I think you can start seeing him slowly but surely trying to creep on and run down. He's about a tenth faster right there than Clore was. And you got Kolmacheski right there behind him. And then Phillips is also another one hanging there in fourth. Bender still right in the 5th place spot along with Alex Carr, Joshua Hyatt, and Ben Stevens, Greg Carr, and then Kyle Gerlach. So the top 10, again, I mentioned it before the race. We might see some guys that normally we don't see up front a lot. Not taking anything away from them, but this track that's just one of these tracks where it fits their driving style.
Yeah, it's always fun to see. I mean, top 10 hasn't changed much. The only one that's really moved into it that started outside was Alex Carr up in 6th, gaining 6 spots. But then further back, 17th place, another man on the move. We talked about in pre-race how about these races kind of hopefully favor him. That's 79 of Ginningsman. He's on the charge.
Yeah, and Hammonds. I lost it. Yep. I thought I saw him falling for some reason, but go back, it brings the caution out. Let's see. Yep, right there. Typical, just lost it. That's just Kentucky right there. There's really nothing to do. And almost had it saved. And whew, good thing you didn't go back up on that track. Well, it been bad.
I mean, he came back onto it, but not too much to where the drivers all had a lot of room to avoid him. And single filed out kind of makes it easier to avoid a car when you don't got to worry about a car to your outside.
Yeah, and unfortunately there on Hammond's part, he was running up front, but just how easy it is to get away, because you're starting to feel those tires are starting to give up the ghost a little bit. I said it was slick. You're starting to feel it at that point. Even with an open setup, it's really going to depend on how you got your car set up. Go back to this man here, Ginniman. He is up 8 spots. He's the hard charger out there right now. He's up to 16th. I feel like he gets another good, solid, long green flag run here. He's going to pick off another probably 8 or 10 spots. He's going to be in that top 10 before probably halfway in this thing. I feel like it here tonight.
Yeah, and it's not even that, and it's not a short race at all either, I believe.
200.
Let's go back to that announcement. 200 laps, so got a little whiles to go, and we're only about an eighth of the way through it, 23 laps in, so still got a long way. That 79 could probably easily claw his way into the top 10, top 5, maybe even fight for the win.
Yeah.
But more importantly, we're talking about how bad tire wear might be. They only got 4 sets in the pits.
Well, and that's going to be crucial too, because every pit you're going to be yelling at the crewman, I want tires, I want tires. But you go back to that point, there's only 4 sets. You can't do that throughout this. You're going to have to probably pit. Now, yeah, I'm going to say that everybody's going to take tires this time around. They know they're going to make some adjustments to the car. Okay, I got a good solid 17 laps in. I felt like what my car was starting to do and how it was reacting. Now let's make some adjustments to it. Do I need to tighten it up a little bit? Maybe. Don't go too loose, but a little bit loose, because it's going to get looser as the run goes on and whatnot. And then you see some guys there too, just came out, Boyles and Fuse. They don't look like they took tires at all, which, I'm going to, normally I'd say, okay, fine, that's not a bad move. I'm gonna still hold with tires are going to be pretty crucial here. And 23 lap difference could make a pretty good difference here tonight. Now, all depending on how hard Clure, Phillips, and those guys wants to run, Dave or Wes. It all depends on how they want to run that. If they want to run hard, or if they want to say, okay, let you guys out there kind of ride. You're eventually going to slip and slide, and I'm eventually go around you anyways. So it all depends on how Clure wants to push this. Now, normally he would just push and go.
Yeah, just looking throughout the field, there's a lot of different. There's a whole bunch of different strategies in here. I see 2 tires. I see either 2 or none that just went gas only.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty interesting on this restart. Our top 2, they're either 2 tires or no tires. And then right behind them, 2 guys that took all 4.
Yeah, and it's going to depend on the guys that took those 4, whether or not they want to push this, or they want to say, okay, yeah, I'm going to just ride. And I know eventually those top 2 guys are going to fade. They're going to fade. I mean, because they're 23 lap, way older tires as it is now. So it's going to depend on what Clore and Phillips want to do in the back, how aggressive they want to get. I'll go on a limb and say if it was me, I'd probably wait it out unless I got the opening and those guys slipped in front of me and I was just able to go right around them. But if they got good starts and was able to keep going and maintain, up front with speed for a while, I'd probably just ride behind them and see. But nonetheless, here we go. We'll see what kind of adjustments guys have made on the track. We know the man back there sitting in 17th place spot. He's chomping at the bit to see if he can't get through the field here. Lights off on the pace truck. Master Series here tonight for the Spartan Sim Racing League. It's your favorite band night here too. We'll go through the cars in the field here and a few, show you off some of these awesome looking paint jobs. But I know Wes right there is looking at that at number 23 as pace truck's in. Don't want to spin those tires on the restart. Now that would be crucial here too with the top two, but restart zone, we're back racing.
Major checkup for the outside line there. Phillips did not get a good start, so that whole line is going to be a little bit further back. Phillips is looking to lose fourth. Alex Carr through.
Yeah, you see Clore right there, and I think he's, just look at the new tires. He just comes off that turn. He's got so much more bite being able to bring that thing in there. He'll sling it down the inside. The car's up top there. They're feeling it. The tires are just going away. They're going up the top side of the track. Clore, here comes, I think, Alex Carr along with him. He took tires too. So, the tires are just way dominant here. Just what I was thinking earlier, just by what this track was, and you can already see it. Now, Boyle's right now holding his own a little bit. Clore sees that. He might say, okay, I don't want to push this envelope. Obviously, it all depends on how much Carr wants to in the backside there.
Not just Carr, but Phillips, not a good restart, but he's still rebounding pretty good. They're all going to shoot low. Meanwhile, we're going to see the 23. He stayed up high through 3 and 4, so hopefully to get a little bit better run down the front stretch. He does going to hold on to the lead here.
Yeah, he does. You see him, though. Just see if he can get that car to rotate through here 1 and 2. He's not able to get it all the way down, and you can see right there that tires, man, just kind of hooked him a little bit, and as Clore's able to with the new ones hold it down low and get the bite coming off the turn. They'll go side by side here, and it's just going to be pretty much just another lap. He's going to be able to go by him real easily, and that's what I'm talking about. You don't see that very often between tires. Usually it's like, wow, but Boyle says, oh, look, I'm going to fight back on the inside and see.
Yeah, Boyles ain't giving it up easily.
Yeah, the problem with that is he's on that old tires, and those old tires will eat up a lot quicker than what Clore. So, but you can just see just the newer tires prevailed on that one on that outside. He was able to get the bite, but, hey, Boyle's giving it all, holding on strong with that machine. And then Carr right here. Alex going to look for that second place spot along with Phillips. Bender right along with him, too. We talk about, Ginnings, when he got caught up in traffic a little bit, but he's still back here in the 19th trying to see if he can't come through the field. Hammonds, who spun, luckily didn't hit anything. He's up to 18th right now, seeing if he came through. Cole Macheski, who had a very bad pit stop. He must have had a penalty. Had a 26-second pit stop.
And mental mistakes a little bit here, kind of something you don't want to do. But Cole Macheski, he's seeming to fight back good. He's got a good car, so he's going to fight his way back through the field. Gettingsman, like we said, he got up to about 17th on track before that before the yellow flag came out. So, and then he had a little bit of a longer stop as well compared to some of those that kind of jumped him. But he's going to start clawing his way back. So it's going to be... I always find it fun to watch cars come up through the field. I always enjoy it.
And two, it's a whole different ball game here. You saw Gettingsman coming through the field, and whoa, hang on to it there, 22. Who's that? That's Fuge. Oh, hit the wall though. Ouch. Oh, man, almost somebody just clipped him almost, but no caution because he. But we'll go back and see if we can't get an idea what happened. We saw him get loose. Might have went back a little bit too far, but we'll watch here. We saw him get loose, and then that thing just snapped, and he destroyed the outside wall here. Typical Kentucky. He bumps the wall a little bit there. Yeah, it just starts
Then
to go away
goes
from
to
him.
cut down and overspun.
Oh, and then overcorrected and hard in the wall. Ouch.
Thankfully, a lot of cars getting low there as he stayed up in the wall. Probably the best thing to do. Don't move your line if you're wrecked out and you've got fast cars coming. Stayed in the wall and everybody else went low around him.
You know, I know he's got the Metallica machine, but that's not a way you want to ride the Lightning right there. that was a hard lick. That's going to cost him a lot here as Clore's the man out front, car along with him. Another thing I think and what I was about to go reiterate there too, we saw him unfortunately Fuse hit the wall with. Ginningsman was coming through the field methodically in that first run, but now here's the main difference between the open and the fixed setup. These guys, when they went on that pit stop, were able to make adjustments. So guys that are feeling like, okay, my car's falling off in a long run, let me make an adjustment to do it. So can Ginningsman now make that right adjustment to overcome what everyone else in front of him might have fixed on their pit stops? And as we see right now, it's kind of looking that way, like Clore and Carr and those up front. The field's kind of a little more stable than what it was.
And honestly, here's the thing as well, to say something with you. Talking about everybody making adjustments to what would help their cars. They can make those adjustments go just a little bit too far, or if you say, here's another thing that my dad's told me. There's such thing as when you're tight pushing loose. You're pushing so far tight that your car will snap on you.
Yes.
Well, you think you're loose, so you tighten the car up, and it keeps getting worse and worse. So there's also kind of a faultiness to where if you think you're one thing when you're actually the opposite, it could just make it a whole lot worse for you as well. But hopefully all these guys made the right adjustments. You see some definitely did. They're able to get going.
Yeah, and I agree with you right there. That's, you talk about the push loose effect there, where then your car is tight, and then like you said, you're yanking it down to the left to try to keep it from shooting to the wall, and you're thinking, man, this thing's too tight, so you go loosen it up. The problem is you're the one that's actually making it tighter than what it was. The more that you're yanking that wheel to the left. That's kind of the layman's term of explaining for some people out there that might not know the technical side of it. Getting over aggressive on the steering wheel. So, think about it in your real car. Sometimes you might want to just, hopefully you don't, but you yank the steering wheel to the left really quick. But I wouldn't advise doing that. Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that on the road. Okay, don't do that on the road. Grussmacher, man, looking pretty good. He's up 4 spots along with Boyles there, up 9 with Kibbe there too. That's around about the 10th place spot. You see these guys under a blanket. Boyles though didn't pit, still holding pretty strong there, but he's going to slowly but surely, like I said, it's going to fall back. I'm still going to go off of tires. I think tires are going to be the main thing, but the problem is what you said earlier. You only have 4 sets. Even if this thing goes green, and we go green the entire set of green flag stops, which I'm going to say probably 35, 40 laps maybe, somewhere in that area.
Not exactly sure. I didn't test that out today. I didn't test that out this weekend.
What's their percentage they usually run here?
I think they run full.
Do they run? Okay, so if they run full, I'll go off of what the fix is or what with the officials, because the officials run full, and it's usually only a 35 lap race. Again, you can run 35 laps in the trucks here on the fixed setup. I will say this though, you're going to be screaming for tires, and you're going to definitely learn how to put an egg under the pedal, because it's going to be slick at that point. But you can run it full. She's going to want fuel though around about that area. So I'm gonna go on a limb and say 35, 40. Obviously we just pitted with 23, so if we go, another 35, 40 from here, they're probably going to have to pit at least 3 times. Depending on if we get some cautions, you never know. I'm not the best in math, but just go off the top of my head. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm not exactly sure. I'm trying to actually ask one of the crewmen for one of the drivers right now.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But yeah, fuel range, if you're able to make the tires last that whole way through, which split evenly between the 5 sets you have, the one on the car plus the 4 on the pits, that's about 40 laps each. Those tires ain't going to be happy at the end of the 40 laps. They can make it, but they ain't going to be happy. But I'm not sure if the fuel would be making it, because I don't know what that fuel range is quite yet.
Yeah, and just going off by knowledge, and folks, it's been years and years since I've run this track. Just going off knowledge, your tire, you're going to be wanting the tires way more than the fuel. But I think this is also one of these tracks where it is funny. Normally we either talk about you're going to need fuel before the tires before the fuel. This is one of the tracks that almost is kind of about even. With tires and fuel, you're going to want pretty much both of them, unless obviously a caution flies in between a pit cycle. Now that last one, with that caution falling around about lap 20, 21, if we go 35, 40 laps, that's pretty good. What I'm talking about, if we go 10 laps into a green flag, 15 laps into a green flag run, and a caution flies, that's where to kind of throw it off a little bit. Oh, we got some cars off track in the back. Alphen was off, and he came back on. He went off. Let's go back on. And obviously, must have got it pushed back here. Let's see. And typical Kentucky, I guarantee you just lost it coming out of the turn here. And coming out of turn 2 down the back stretch. Turn 3 turns it in. No, 58.
Whoa, 58.
The 58, yeah. Checked up a little bit, and he had nowhere to go. Okay.
The 58 started sliding there, checked it up to save it, and Alphen right behind him, nowhere to go, like you said. Also, to get back about fuel range, looking 60, 63 laps, not 35.
Wow, okay. Oh, wow. It's a lot further than what I thought. I mean, again, I'm going off with the trucks and a fixed setup, but that's a lot. Well, with that said, then, you're going to be screaming on tires. I'm going to say you will be. Again, these are open setups, folks. If these were fixed, I don't think they're going 60 laps on that setup. It's no. They would be. I don't even think you could do 60 laps. The tires would just be gone. Here, what's that?
They'd be jello.
Yes, they would be definitely out. With these being open setups, you can adjust these cars a lot more and build tune them to where you can drive them and go that distance. So I'm still going to say they're going to be pretty slick by the time they get to that 60 lap mark. So we'll have to see. Let's check back here. Genningsman right now still sitting right about that 17th place spot. He's moved up a few. The man that's on the moon row here's Hammond and Cole Macheski. Those two guys, kind of just picking them off one by one. Remember, Hammond, unfortunately, when it spun and got that caution brought out. Cole Macheski, though, man, had a bad penalty on pit road and got him marred back there. But those two have slowly but surely, right there in 10th and 11th, been able to just, pick them off and come through the field.
And look right there, the 45 not quite able to turn in. The 69 look of Kolmacheski, he kind of looked like he wanted to go to the inside of Kibbe there, but then changed his mind, poked his nose outside because the 45 just came right across it.
Yeah, just going to see if we can just ride. You see Kibbe hanging on right there in the 9th place spot. He's up 9 spots too. So right now the heavy charger, Alex Carr's up 10. You see Kibbe's right there in the second one. We just talked about him. He's up 9. Jorgensen, another one quietly coming through the field. He's up there in the 13th place spot. And then Genningsman up 7. So, but we talked about the night. It was your favorite band night here. And Wes, I know, unfortunately, man, the cars you were pulling for, I mean, he's still out there running, but he'd fallen back, and we'll get to him. But let's look at maybe some of these cars while they're in single file right now. I'm not quite sure what that one is. I was trying to figure it out as we were running, but got any ideas?
I know he posted into the paints for it. Let me see.
That'd be like an independent band or something.
I've got no idea if that's sure or some interesting text. Not quite exactly sure what the name of that band would be. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Interesting, man. Paint scheme out there. Looks like a rolling tank right now. It's good that it's not driving like one, and he's looking very fast and strong out front. Alex Carr, he opted to go with his team mates here in the team Birdie Racing, and so did Phillips, which he's got the Subway machine, which is actually a throwback to Greg Biffle there. So we talked about Greg Biffle earlier.
That's a really good scheme.
Yeah, it is. That's one of his famed schemes there too. So I like that one there on the Subway. Bender, he's got his typical man racing scheme he runs week in and week out. So does another team Birdie one there with Carr. Stevens would probably be our first one here with the along with Core out there. The Breaking Benjamin, not a bad band. Not a bad band. They got some pretty good albums out. Good looking car too. I like the
logo right there.
Yeah, the logo and the burgundy on it. I like that. That's what's kind of like I don't know if it's burgundy or more like a wine style.
I've got no idea. Yeah. I don't know colors that well.
yeah. Grussmacher got his team racing out here tonight with Hyatt. He's got another one here with the Food Fighters. And if anybody knows about Food Fighters, the lead singer for Food Fighter was actually the drummer for Nirvana. So there's a little bit of a history lesson if you didn't know that. And if you were too young.
Going back with Grussmacher as well, I'd say it's not just his normal scheme. He does have the Prince of Darkness of Ozzy Osbourne on the hood.
I see. Okay, we went back to it. Yeah, okay, so kind of incorporated a little bit of his favorite band in with his team scheme there. So yeah, Ozzy Osbourne, man, Black Sabbath. I mean, if you live under a rock, you'd have to just not like rock music. I mean, even if you didn't like rock music, I mean, a lot of people knew who Ozzy Osbourne was. So there you go. But not a lot of people knew on the Food Fighters part with the singer for that one. Did not know he was the drummer for Nirvana, which was way back in the early 90s. Telling my age, but hey, there you go.
Hey, Nirvana was good.
Hey, man, I love it.
I like Nirvana.
I did, man. It's awesome. And the Foo Fighters, he had some pretty good music too, man. He really transitioned his career, so awesome. But you've been to see old Joshua Hyatt out there. It's Kibby. Well, he's just going with the team sports machine there too tonight, sitting in the 8th. Cole Macheski, he's got his team Watson. Don't see him implementing any band there along with it. Hammond's right behind him, same thing with his team machine. Boyles, there you go. There's the one you like, Kiss Car. I'm probably going to have to alone. Him and that Breaking Benjamin right now, probably two that's kind of really stand out. Besides the Metallica one, unfortunately earlier when he got smashed, but I don't know. Yeah, that one right there looks really good.
It's clean, it's simple, but hey, big letters, Kiss. Everybody, I think, knows that word, that band.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely. Jorgensen right behind him. He's got the Warsh Dads. Didn't implement too much of a band on that one there. And I got to give credit. That one's a nice one there, too. Motley Crue. That's the fire on the side of it there. Motley Crue, more of an 80s style band. Obviously, if you're a little bit young and don't know, I grew up with the Motley Crues and stuff like that. So I knew all those, the Poisons, the Motley Crues, and Guns N' Roses. Just to name a few.
Oh, yeah. Keep going further through the back, you're going to find someone you just mentioned.
Okay. Nicotera right here in 15th. He's running his, this looks like his team style car. Gardner back here too. Now he's got 3 doors down. Okay. More of a traditional kind of alternative style band and whatnot. More the newer style here. We got Gerlach back here. Can't really tell if he's got a band on.
That's one of his normal schemes, I believe.
Okay. Genningsman. He's got his normal reaping machine out here with Seymour. He just plays some iRacing. He said, heck yeah. And Alphen, yeah, he's normally got his little running man on the side there. Joshua Hart, it's like the team machine. And then in the pits, unfortunately, the Appalachian Chili Billies.
Hillbilly.
Oh, Appalachian, okay.
Chillbilly.
I got you. And then, unfortunately, can't get to the last other ones, which... Oh, there we go. Guns N' Roses. Well, this unfortunate Westwood, man, in the pits, man, tore up a little bit. Still a nice-looking paint job. And even with Dave, which Dave is out of the race, we're not going to be able to show you that one. You'll just have to go back on the broadcast and look at that one a little bit later. But hopefully, man, just to show a little tribute to some of these cars out here and the paint jobs and what they do. They all look good out there. As far as scheme-wise goes, I'm going to have to put it right now with that break-in in the KISS car. Tell us who your favorites out there through the field, out there in the chat. Maybe who it is. I know Wes said he loved the KISS car. I like that KISS car. It kind of was nice, too.
I like the KISS car, but Joe, I got a question for you. If you were racing, what band would you have on your car?
Sepultura.
All right.
They're a Brazilian. Heavy. They started out as a death metal band.
All right.
Yeah, they're in the realm of Fear Factory and Slayer and all those guys. Yeah, I know. It's kind of surprising. I grew up listening to a lot of. I grew up listening to Metallicas and stuff like that too, and whatnot. But I went way off, and I can name some names that I'd be surprised if anybody in the chat knew. Cannibal Corpse, Slayers, like I say, Sepultura, Obituary, Death. Just to name a few. Just to name a few. I won't scare anybody. Yeah, it'd be like, yeah. I enjoyed it. Growing up that time, but yeah, that would be the one I'd probably do. They're a Brazilian style band, really heavy. If you like Slipknot, if anybody likes stuff like that. So.
Yeah, honestly, not my favorite version of rock, if you may, but I respect what they do. Their vocals have to be really trained to do this type of screams they need to at points.
And I'd be hoarse after all that. Forget about it.
Yeah, I would be too. I've tried it. It did not go well.
Yeah. Well, I know you said you liked the KISS car out there, and that is a very nice paint job. I will give. Where's that right now? Well, boys, is on pit road. Unfortunately, this is going to be off cycle for him here. But you like the KISS car, so I'm going to take that you're more of the. Is that one of your favorite bands, or is that what do you like?
Actually, no. I love KISS as a rock band. If I'm talking about their generation of rock, I'm probably with Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
Actually, a little bit more. But if I had a car out here on track right now, it's between two bands for me. I've got my good old faithful, actually saw it on a real car last year in 2025 with Larson at Las Vegas. Zach Brown Band, my favorite band of almost any time. I hear Chicken Fried, I sing along with it every single time. Meanwhile, other band, one that I've been to two, technically three concerts in my life. The most recent one being Shine Down. That's probably who I'd most likely put in the car.
Nice. Okay. All right. Yeah, nothing wrong with those, man. It's good choices there. That's the beauty of it. A lot of people, man, in and out of so many different genres of music, man, out there, and that's one thing, man, brings joy to people, man. Music, along with racing here too, and right now, man, Clore's, man, out front, and I think we probably will start seeing some pit stops here pretty soon. They pitted on lap 23. They said they can go 60 laps. That's going to put us at 33, 43, 63, 73.
Looking about 80 laps, 85.
And we do got some takers in the back, and I think those are some of the guys who did not pit. So, roughly, that puts around about, they went, well, if you take the caution away, or if you add in the caution, which I always say adds about 2 laps of green. Lap 69 and they're pitting. They didn't pit before, or they just pitted for fuel. Yeah, they probably could have went 80 laps, but it is actually odd that they're actually, well, the tires are giving up. See, we got back on that thing. This is interesting.
What
happened?
I'm sorry. I heard someone was pitting, and I went to go see who it was, and then I saw Ginningsman actually got loose off of 4.
Oh, yeah, definitely don't want that to happen on Ginningsman's part. As he was coming through the field, he's still up to 15th place spot. But this is interesting because you're saying they can go 80-some laps, but the math don't math with, like, Boyles. who did pit and take fuel, but yet is pitting. I know why, because he needs tires, but the tires didn't even make it the 80 laps. And neither does Ginningsman, he just slid his. But so it's interesting that we're talking about with pit stops, because he pitted at lap 65, Boyles did. He went into the pits during that caution at lap 2021 and got fuel. So that means those set of tires did not go the 80 laps or so that we were talking about. Interesting.
Yeah, and typically you talk about tire life being equal to, if not better than, fuel mileage.
Yeah,
but Kentucky's showing us something a little bit different. No matter how much fuel you got and says that you can go, your tires ain't going to agree with it.
And I think that's what we've been talking about throughout the race, and I think that's what we're going to be looking at. And you can just see how much faster you are with a newer set of tires there, as Boyles is able to go right around the leader to get back on the lead lap, or one of his laps back, because you will go a couple laps down. Unfortunately, a green flag stop here as Clore is out. Now, it will be interesting how long Clore is able to go. He pitted at lap 23, did take 4 tires. Right now, sitting at 74. '83 is only 60 laps. He would have to go over lap 100 to make it to that 80 lap mark. I think we're looking at these tires giving up around about the 70 lap mark. 65, 70, maybe before the fuel does. I mean, time will tell when we see. Go ahead.
I think that's definitely what we're seeing, is tires giving up before the fuel does. So, going to be amazing to watch. See if some people are able to nurse their tires to the end of a fuel run.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it really won't matter. I mean, we're not going to. Normally, we go like on board here and maybe kind of see if a guy's maybe clutching or anything, but it really wouldn't matter to save fuel. The only way you're really going to save tires is just kind of maybe let out, back it out, don't get back into the throttle as hard. You can see right there, I mean, obviously he's going to be way off of it. That's really the only way you save tires, is just being smooth. I mean, as smooth as you possibly can be. You know, you don't want to scuffle. You don't want, like what you said earlier, if the car's tight, you don't want to force it down. Kind of let it do its own thing. If it's tight, let it go towards the wall a little bit. I mean, obviously going to have to keep it off the wall, but yeah, things like that to save tires. It's a lot different than what we would see on fuel, where, you know, like at this point, if he was saving fuel, he might hit that clutch right there, and you see those RPMs drop all the way down or all the way out, you know. And not to say that he probably ain't saving a little bit. I think he is, because he looks like he's running pretty gingerly right now. I mean, he's smoothing that car. I mean, he's not fighting that wheel.
No, he's not. Kind of letting, like you said, letting the car kind of dictate how much wheel he puts into it, not wanting to force it down where it doesn't want to be, which is definitely going to help.
Yep. And I go back to what I was talking about this track. What you're seeing right here, folks, is textbook how you got to run this track. It very, very fine style. If you ever had a technical style track on oval, this is going to be kind of one of them, where you really have just got to be methodical with that wheel, very steady, don't want to jerk it. Whereas sometimes you're able to kind of, you know, give it a little wheel, you know, maybe kind of tell the car, hey, look, you're going this way. Here, you pretty much just got to ease into that turn as easy as you can. Let it ease off through the turn and ease off of the turn. And, you know, you can even see him right there, just a little wiggle, because it's going to get, you know, tight. And, you know, we'll watch the second place driver here, because it just goes to show you the difference in driving between, you know, track to track. We're watching Bruce Marker here. He wasn't quite as far off the throttle as Clore was. So Clore might be, like we said, it's the way he's saving those tires a little bit more. We'll see right here. He's off of it right there, and gets back on maybe a little bit early as Clore's on pit road.
In the pits.
So that answers our question real quick. Can they go 80 some laps? No. I don't think we're going to. I think 70 laps is what our is about the area that we're looking at.
Well, it's not really even 80 laps they need to go. It's only 60 to 65 is the fuel mileage. It's just we had that caution. So,
okay,
fun to watch.
yeah. I mean, and I think the tires are going to dictate, when you come in. I feel like that's what's going to be the deciding factor. It'll be interesting. It looks like a lot of the guys made some good adjustments on that last pit stop. And I go back to, we was talking about Genningsman. He was making headway through the front of the field. But what it looks like to me is the guys in front of him made the right calls after that caution or during that caution pit stop, because Genningsman kind of was at a stalemate coming through the field, and he was kind of even with everybody else in the front. You might think, well, man, Genningsman just messed up totally. Not really. His car's still probably running as good as it was at the beginning of the race. It's just everybody else probably got better in front of him because they said, well, look, man, hey, wait a minute, my car's too loose. It's too tight, or I need to do this and that.
I'm sorry, I just completely blinked out from you, but for a little bit. But yeah, so those adjustments, I think you are right. The people in front of Genningsman, they made the right ones to where he's not able to quite pull up through the field like we saw before the caution.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I've kind of been noticing this track, it's getting a little bit darker. There's some overcast on it. It was at turns 1 and 2 at one point. Now it's a little bit more over 3 and 4. So track temps and sunshine on the track might play a part in some of how these cars are going to handle.
Yeah. If you're looking right there on the broadcast, see off to the side, you'll be able to see, what those track temps, so whether it is inside the sim itself. Obviously, it's not the weather. Not the weather where I'm at. I'll tell you that much. It's like it's in the teens here where I'm at. Just going back off again, they were supposed to race Bowman Gray today, folks. Now there's 14, 15 inches of snow sitting around there. They weren't racing nothing, unless they wanted to get some Eskimos out there and pull them cars around the track.
I want snowmobiles. Let's go.
Yeah, well, that would have been definitely some interesting television to watch. I don't even think they're going to get the race in tomorrow. They're talking about getting the race tomorrow. I don't
think so.
I don't think it. I think it's going to be maybe Wednesday, because the problem is, folks, and again, I don't want to get too far off on the subject, is here in the Carolinas, we're not getting out of freezing probably any time this week, and we're supposed to get down in the lower teens, almost in single digits over nighttime. So whatever out there still, even they get the main road scraped, it's going to freeze back over, and even in that track. So yeah, we'll see the real side of racing, but we got a good race going on here. And tell you what, Grussmacher though is extending this thing along with Stevens. Now they did pit and got tires on that caution, but they have made this thing go quite a bit. As now you see Stevens on pit road, but Grussmacher, he's definitely extending this thing.
Yeah, Grussmacher, he's being really smooth with his inputs as he's finally pulling down. Nope. Just
wow.
Really slow off of 4 there. I thought he was thinking about pulling down on pit road, but his input's really smooth. He's not pushing the car. He's got a good amount of let off to kind of just let it roll through the corner.
I mean, right there, he's quarter throttle, half throttle, so I mean, he is very, very smooth. I mean, that you see the RPMs just come up very slowly. That shows you how it looks like he might come in this time. Yep, he's coming third gear. He's coming in this time. But that just shows you just how smooth he was coming out of 2.
Entry.
Yeah, you got to get this thing slowed down. And also on the old tires, coming down through those gears is going to be a little hectic. Saw it right there. But yeah, his throttle input off of turn 2 with those old tires was so smooth. He should hand the lead back over here to Clore, who has got a 2-second lead over Greg Carr and Alex Carr himself right there in 3rd and 4th. So with the pit strategy of what Grussmacher has got, I'm going to say he's going to try, if this ain't those green, one more stop. As opposed to somebody like Clore, might be close to a 2-stop. We'll see. Grussmacher pushed this thing 8 more laps than anybody else. And that's a lot in racing. On this track, it's a lot.
It is a lot, and just trying to do some quick math here. Grutzmacher, he came in with about 112 laps to go, about 60 laps. He can do it on one more stop. Tires might not be happy, but based on how he ran it this last kind of a run, I don't think his car ever really got upset with him. But yeah, Clore and the two cars kind of towards the beginning of lap one, beginning of the 80s there, they might have to go one. They might be one stop. They might have to do two here.
Yeah, and what'll dictate that is how much those guys behind them are gaining on them. If they, come in and they're losing so much track position, it'll be interesting on that next pit stop. But McClure's out front leading. Right now he's got a 1.7 second lead over Greg Carr, who got Alex's car right there battling. So this is a battle for second. Alex looks like he's wanting to try to take that spot away.
And Greg, probably best thing to do here, just let the 21 take it and run behind him. But gonna put up a battle.
All right, right now, Clore out front leading. Carr got enough maybe to catch him. Carr pitted it just a lap later. We're running. No, I was going to say running about the same, but I think.
Caution up.
Not showing me why.
Oh, someone's smoking low up there.
Find it.
78 maybe?
Stevens? Go back on the LNC. It didn't flag on my end over here, just caution flew, so it's got to be one of these little quick spins. Yep. Hang on to it. Nope. Got it. Nope. Yeah. Ooh, he did bump the wall a little bit on the inside. Yeah, that's why I didn't flag, because he kept going straight. Oh, and then he wrecked again. The front end's tore up. So we had two wrecks. Oh.
Then right there in four.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to come in pit road and couldn't get woe down in time, and it just stepped out from under him. Ow. Ben Stevens having a hard time on this pit stop. Puts us under caution.
Well, time to see who comes in, who doesn't. Clore with a fake.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe if you're back 10th, 15th, you might come in. You're not really going to lose a lot because 16th going back, it was a lap down. Come in maybe, think about fuel. Could maybe throw two tires on this thing, but I don't know if I'd put two tires on a track like this. Normally, because usually you put two tires on the car to loosen it up. You don't want it any looser than what this track's going to make it. Unless maybe we had, 10, 15 laps to go or something, maybe, yeah, but we're running halfway, right at halfway. No, I don't think you do that kind of gamble. Although it looks like they put four tires on in the back. Boyles did. I'm
right with you. I wouldn't think two.
No, not here. Normally in some tracks, Auto Club or something like that, sure, you'd want to loosen that car because they tend to get really, really tight. This place here, just the car is on the edge pretty much about the end of the run anyways, and you're having to drive so smooth, you don't want to loosen it up no more than you have to. But let's say Boyles and the guys, everyone who came in lap here at 94, took 4 tires. So that's interesting because that puts them on. Well, it puts Boyles actually. Man, it only puts him on 2 sets he's used in. Okay. I'm not quite sure if Gerlach and them came in. Gerlach and Sanchez, if they pitted back with that caution and got tires. I know Boyles did not get tires in that caution we saw when he was dropping, and he just came in not too long ago. So yes, this could be his 3rd set. Could be his 3rd set now. No, it's his 2nd because he didn't pit on the caution. He just came in. So yeah, this is only 2nd set. So yes, what, 2 sets left. All right, lights off on the pace truck. Here we go. Let's see if it pays off. Now it's going to be interesting to see, can those 14-lap different tires bring him through the field here? We'll see how much of a difference those make, because he's going to be marred back here around about 12th, 13th place spot. And you got Clure and all the guys in front of him who pitted on lap 80, 82, and Hammonds who pitted right there on 75. So want to be interesting to watch here. Getting set to go back green, getting set to go about halfway in this one here tonight at Kentucky. Spartan Sim Racing League Master Series here. The next gen cars. Been actually a very solid race here tonight. Been all Shane Clure out front leading, and his pace truck's in. Get up here to the restart zone and get set going. And we are back green. They have got to really be easy. Not back green yet, but they got to be easy on the throttle here. You do not want to spin the tires with these tires.
Outside lane again. Not a great jump there by Alex Carr on the restart, though. Only going to lose about 1 spot to Greg Carr.
Yeah, you see Clure get the jump out front. You got Greg and Alex Carr right there behind him. Alex again is going to look to the inside and try to take it. Meanwhile, the battles here. Cole Macheski, 2 on the top of Hammonds and Phillips. Grusmacher there too. We talked about Boyles. He's right there in that 23 machine with those newer tires. He's the number one. He's the first one with the newer set of tires. And I think he's probably going to want to try to use that outside lane as much as he can, with the grip he's got and whatnot.
Using the grip he's got now, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, it's going to gain you a lot of positions, especially if these guys are taking it a little bit easier because they're on older stuff, though not quite as old as others. But then later on the run, you're going to need to pit earlier as well and not take it all the way through that fuel range like we saw people like Dylan Grusmacher do.
And it's almost like what was Clure was earlier. How much does he want to push the car? How much does he want to say, okay, let me see what these guys just fall off, and I just eventually pick them off one by one. You can see right now he's in a spot where I'm going to just have to wait and see what goes on with this battle in front of him with Phillips, Grusmacher, Komacheski, and Hammonds, who are going at it side by side, almost 3 wide there. You see Grusmacher up on the top side. Hammonds right in front of them, along with Komacheski. Everybody on top of each other right now. Popping the wall a little bit. Well, you can definitely see just how much better he is with newer tires than those guys out there. And then I'll say you just don't see this a lot in a lot of other tracks. Normally, guys aren't able to come through the field as methodical, but here's where patience is going to have to be for him. He knows he's a lot faster than these guys, but definitely don't want to get himself in trouble.
Boyles, no matter where he's at, he's got 2 cars side by side in front of him almost anywhere. Main one kind of keeping him behind him, though. Grusmacher, he's passed a couple cars and he's had Boyles right behind him the whole way through, kind of paving a way for the 23 KISS car.
Yeah, absolutely. Boyles, like you said, up there 11 spots, but you got Grusmacher and Cole Macheski, flying high. Now, the next car that pitted was Sanchez. He's not been able to get out of the pack back here too much and get through it just like Boyles has. He's up to 11th right now. A couple other machines back there too that pitted, not able to get through the field, but Boyle's right now able to utilize those tires, utilize what he's got. It looks like he's at a stalemate, but still watching that battle in front of him with Grusmacher and Cole Macheski. Those two guys have been going at each other.
And that's going to be wearing down their tires just a little bit more. Cole Macheski maybe finally gives in, gets behind that 38 car, but nope, Boyles is right to his inside.
Yeah.
And Boyle slots in behind him.
Able to take that spot away. Nice. Grusmacher was able to get up to fourth. Been a good solid race here so far. Other than the green flag stops here, Wes, they think this is typical too. Nobody's able to run off with this thing here tonight. Every restart we've had, they've kind of stayed in kind of a bunched up. I mean, that shows you just how tight the field is.
Yeah, I mean, I think the largest lead we saw before the pit cycles kind of kicked off was maybe just under a second, probably around 9/10.
Yeah.
So not really able to run away. Everybody's sticking kind of close with each other. Single file racing, meaning that, hey, we don't have a lot of dirty air going on as much, where you're about 3 cars having different amounts of air put on different areas of your nose or on your rear wing.
Yeah, and it goes to show you just how much, you're really taking care of the car, taking care of the tires. You're not really just kind of rushing to get out front there. That's why the pack is staying so close. You see here with Greg Carr, keeping Clore right there, in fighting distance, along with Alex Carr behind him, and Grusmacher there too. Boyle's hanging on the 5th. So a lot of those top 5 guys still looking strong. As we got Alex back here. Looks like Grusmacher's going to try to see if he can't take that spot from him. Remember, Grusmacher pitted at lap 88, so he has a little bit newer tires. He has about 8 lap newer tires than what the top runners do here, and it's starting to pay dividends for him.
It definitely is. He's able to run just a little bit higher, which we saw kind of where he was running later into the run last time out.
Yeah.
And with that, he's carrying just a little bit more speed as he gets right past Alex Carr. Going to look for another car right in front of him, the 36 of Greg. And then just beyond Greg, you've got the leader, Shane Clore.
Yeah, and Clore pitted right there at 80, and you see Carr there, he pitted 82, man. We talked about that right before that caution. Grusmacher was able to stretch this thing way further than anyone else. So, I mean, it's starting to see now it's paying off. Even with that caution a little bit, it's still, I think, going to pay off here as he's just slowly but surely reeling them in his last lap. I mean, it was a 23. There was a 22-28 up front. I mean, they're all, let's see what it is when he crossed this line this time by. I mean, Grusmacher was in a little bit of traffic back there. 26, 24, 23. I mean, that's about dead even at the 26, 24, 21. He's a touch faster, a couple hundredths.
Yeah, it's a couple hundredths, not like supersonic speed compared to the leaders, but still just ever so slowly closing them in. And I know we typically talk about you want a 1/10 and a half, 2/10 faster to get around a guy with ease. But the way it's kind of seeming right now, you don't need to have a 1/10 and a half, 2/10. You might just need a 1/10, maybe half a 1/10, and just maybe a little bit better tires.
Yeah, the better tires, I'm with you on that one, is definitely going to pay huge here. I would say if you were on equal set of tires and maybe had a little bit faster car or maybe better setup, I would go back on to the needing about a 1/10 and a half, 2/10 just to go blow and bomb. But I'm like, what we've been talking about all race long. I think the tires are going to matter more. I don't want to say more than the setup, but if you've got two guys with a almost equal setup, the tires are definitely going to pave the way on who's going to be able to get that position.
And that last time around, though, this time, Shane Clore a little bit faster, a 1.7 to a 3.4 to a 3.7.
Yeah.
So he pulled out a little bit of gap, saw the 38 close, and said, I don't quite want that yet.
Yeah, and again, you know, we were talking about, you were talking earlier, the clean air. I mean, still clean air. It is a 1.5 track. It is a bigger style track. It's going to affect a little bit here. I mean, so he is out there in the clean air. The car does feel a little bit, you know, a little better than the guys back there too. So, yeah, might affect a little bit here. You know, him to be able to, you know, again, like you said, he also probably just said, hey, time to go. Quit maybe just hanging back some.
Yeah, and hanging back a little bit, that's another good way to keep the heat out of your tires. Not a big coast into the turn. Just let it kind of float, as I think you said earlier, through the corner, and then just ease the throttle on exit. That's going to help you keep tire wear and heat out of the tires for you. So might have been doing that. Now he's saying, okay, just go a little bit harder. Try to get a little bit more gap here on the guys behind.
You see Carr right now, a little pressure here come from Grusmacher. Finally got on his back door. We'll see if he's able to make that pass on him.
Craig's going to take, not fully. Grusmacher still able to go wrap that yellow line really good. He's got some speed on exit over the 36 as well. Not going to quite get to his quarter panel here.
He got there that time. Just not able to make that pass. Actually letting Alex Carr and Boyles close in here a little bit. So we went from a 2-car battle to almost a 4-car battle.
Well, and there it is. Dirty air on the nose of the 38. Going to push him a little bit high off of 2. That's going to allow Alex Carr, a 21, to get to his inside. Boyles right to his rear bumper.
And you can see Boyles right there to the outside. Not able to make the pass, but able to stay to that outside lane. Grusmacher able to. Whew. And Alex Carr. Oh, that's close quarters racing. Not able to do it. They all fall back in the line. Still Shane Clore out front in this one here tonight. Kentucky, been a good one. Spartan Sim Racing League here for the Master Series, folks, and hope you enjoyed us. The favorite band night here tonight. A little over halfway in this one here, and we'll step away, take a quick commercial break. I'm going anywhere. It's been a good one. We'll be right back.
And then if you want to, just a little bit about how the foundation helped you.
You know, I was in a pretty serious deal, as most people know about. It's a pretty tough deal, very traumatic for my family. A lot of stuff that we went through that people would never understand. Without the assistance from the Steve King Foundation and several other donors as well, we could have come out of that thing in financial ruin. But it just takes a lot out of your family just to go through rehabilitation, all the medical bills. There's so many hidden expenses and stuff that you would never know about until you actually get involved in something like that. And even if you help somebody out with 500 or 1,000 or 100, whatever it is, it means a ton to the person, just to be able to live and to get through these things. It takes an ungodly amount of money, time, effort, patience, with the families, the doctors, to be able to get through a traumatic experience. And, with the Steve King Foundation, that makes everything a lot better.
Hi, I'm Blaine Smith, the Executive Director of Team Red, White, and Blue, and I wanted to take a minute just to welcome you on board and let you know that we're proud to have you as a new member of our team. This short video is a way for us to give you an idea of what you can expect from your experience at Team Red, White, and Blue, and also what we expect from you in return. Something that's really, really important to the fabric of our organization is our Eagle ethos. It's just 6 words, but they mean a lot to us, and they guide us in all we do. Those 6 words: passion, positivity, people, commitment, camaraderie, and community are more than just organizational values. They're what we're all about and what we strive to work for in all of our programs and in every single one of our interactions. The next thing I want you to know is that we are an inclusive organization by design. We're open to veterans of all eras, of all ages, branches of service, combat experience, as well as active duty service members, their families, their friends, and just supportive members of the community that come out and take part in our mission. Every single person is important to what we do. All are welcome, and we look forward to seeing you all out there.
Welcome to Team Red, White, and Blue. Thank you so much for joining our team. My name is Mike Irwin, and I have the honor to serve as the Executive Director. When I founded Team RWB in 2010, our initial focus centered on veteran transition and reintegration into civilian life. But as the large-scale deployments have slowed down, the military's ability to support reintegration has improved, hundreds of thousands of veterans have used their GI Bill, and companies have prioritized hiring veterans, the overall mental, physical, and emotional health of the veteran community still has a long way to go. And Team RWB has a major leadership role to play. And that means that we need you. We need you to close out this video and to know that you didn't just join a listserv or download an app. You joined a team composed of real people, over 200,000 strong, who are veterans on active duty in the National Guard or reserves or civilian supporters. And these people, who we refer to as the Eagles, want you to get involved in Team RWB. Why is it so important for you to become an active member of the team? Because when you do, we know that it will improve your mental and physical health, help you to develop new and meaningful relationships in your life, and provide you with a sense of purpose that comes from belonging to something bigger than yourself. Over the past decade, veterans struggling with the invisible wounds of war and post-military life have told us how important physical fitness has been to them. Running has helped veterans battle nightmares. Triathlons have helped with headaches, and CrossFit has enabled them to sleep better. These fitness activities, along with others, have made them more confident and healthy people. Unfortunately, millions of veterans have forgotten about the power of physical training in their lives. So as you get involved and see the power of Team RWB in your own life, I hope that you feel inspired to reach out to other veterans and encourage them to follow in your footsteps. In closing, I want to again thank you for stepping forward and joining Team Red, White, and Blue. We're fired up to have you on the team, and I know that you're going to be flying the Eagle with pride for a long time.
All right, welcome back here, folks, and at the night, Kentucky style here. These guys for the Spartan Sim Racing League Master Series, and the man there, Shane Clore, out front leading it. And he is able to extend that lead to 1.2 seconds, but Grussmacher has been able to get up to second right now. And just only a little bit touch faster than man up front. Just Greg Carr still holding on to third, Alex Carr there in fourth. Boyle's hanging on to the 5th place spot, so not much has changed since we went on the break, except for Grussmacher getting up to second.
Yeah, and I think Boyles, he might have used up his tires a little bit too much early on trying to get higher through the field. We saw him have a great drive on the restart to get up to 5th, but now he's kind of just settled.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to have these pit stops here about another 15 or so laps. They're working on McClure pitted at lap 80. He's on 40. He came in around about that 65, 69 mark last time. About 65. Yeah. Thinking about another 15, 20. They're going to be on pit road. Car right now trying to take that battle for third. Trying to get around him.
Well, Alex got around Greg. Greg maybe going to just kind of sit there and ride like he says he likes to. Teach these young guys that are all about going fast how to slow it down. Oh, wall off of 2, though. Not going to help. I think Alex is going to comfortably sit in third now.
Yeah. We'll just wheel it out just a little bit. 8/10 out front. Alex is in third. Greg there in fourth. Omacheski, though, looking for that 5th place spot. He's on the inside here. Boyles, he's going to be able to take it. And he's able to shoot right on by him. We're going to look to see if he can take it from old Greg Carr also. See what kind of Giddings, but unfortunately back in 16th, a lap down. He's the first one lap down. So yeah, he must have a penalty on pit road because he had a 26-second pit stop. Got him kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit. There's Hammonds. Hammonds is out of the race. Alpin's still running back here in the 19th. Yeah, not a bad race so far. And all Clore, though, he's had this one on lockdown from the start.
Yeah, qualified pole. We know he's always got some type of speed underneath that hood in that car. So good showing by him. Great showing by Grutzmacher as well. You saw him on that first green flag run to where the whole field cycled through pit stops. He went longer than anybody else. I think that was just through a saving, though, just being a little bit nice and gentle and slowing her down.
Yeah.
But great run from him as well. We've got the 2 cars, the uncle and nephew, sitting third and fourth. Alex and Greg. And then we saw Cole Macheski get past Boyles for 5th.
Yeah, he's on pit road. That's unusual. Wow, okay.
Might have used those tires up more than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because he had what, almost 14, 15 lap newer tires than what Clore in them. So on pit road, definitely not what he wanted. He to get in and get out. What I'm interested in here, because he had 8 lap newer, and he was able to push the envelope that last pit stop. What is he going to do here over Clore? And so those 2 guys, and Clore pitted at lap 80 and 88 for Grutzmacher, so that's going to put them around it's 40, it'll be 60 laps at 140.
And beyond that, there was, of course, the caution that they could have saved a little bit under,
Yeah.
but again, I think it's more dependent on how their tires are feeling. So I feel like if they can get it to around 150 to 160, I think they're good with just one more stop as long as they're able to keep their tires happy that final run.
Yeah, I think Grutzmacher's probably plan is to get it that far. Floor's going to be close. I think he could go to 150. I mean, he might could push it to 160. Let's see the math here. It's 20, 40. 140 is 60 laps. Be close. Just a matter, does Grutzmacher extend it like he did last time? That's going to be the question.
No, he's coming in with Clore.
Oh, okay.
Going to give Alex the lead with Cole Macheski in second.
And maybe Grusmacher felt like, look, I was there. I had the speed. Maybe I should come in with him this time. And they should be able to. That's going to put them in about 58, 50. Well, right there killed it.
Dylan overshot the box.
Yeah, wow. The whole plan went out the window with that one right there. I know it might not be a lot, but it don't take much.
No, that's about 6 seconds. I'd say he's going to lose.
Yeah.
He came in right on the rear of the 72 of Clore, and now it's going to be a lot further ahead.
Mm-hmm. And even with his pit stop, he only had a 15.77 to Clore had a 14.83, so Clore had a way better pit stop. And obviously in and out, way going better there because you saw Grusmacher have to back up. But yeah, killer. And you can see it on track too there. It's 6 seconds difference. Wow. Where it was only a second. And there's not a lot you can do here. Maybe pray a caution flies. That's probably the only thing I can see now that might be able to save him. Mental mistakes. We talk about it a lot.
It's going to cost him. Meanwhile, the battle up here, up front, Alex Carr, he's got pressure behind from Cole Macheski.
Yeah, Cole Macheski right now looking strong. Sitting right there in second. He's got a little bit newer tires than Alex Carr. He put it 85 to 81 Carr. We'll see if he's able to make that up here. Good battle for the lead. Bender on pit road. Yeah, but you saw the last lap was a 74 to 76. And this car just makes a huge mistake. It's going to be a tough one for Cole Macheski to get around him.
And even then, it's not as though that's a dramatic difference, really, because they're still right on top of each other, running very similar lap times. So even if Alex Carr or Cole Macheski's a lot faster, like you said, it's going to really come down to if the 21 makes a mistake. There's a little wiggle out of a corner, kind of has to get out of the throttle mid-corner because his car's either snapping loose or it's getting tight, drifting up to the wall.
Yeah. You see right now Cole Macheski right there behind him, Mark Sanchez back here in the third place spot. Gerlach in the fourth and Gardner up in the fifth, but so the top 10 have yet to make a pit stop. And I don't think you're going to see guys, Sanchez, who pitted on lap 94 along with Gerlach. They're probably going to stretch this even further. Just trying. And that high lane. And this is what I speak of, when I say what it takes to just go right around the guy. You just see how long it takes him to make that pass. I mean, it's taken him several laps. He was almost a half a tenth faster that last time. The guy's lap car coming up. That's it. Newer tires and cars on pit road.
He's Cole Macheski to the lead, so see how long he takes. Is he going to pull a Grusmacher and go another 8-10 laps?
I mean, he was about 3 to 4 laps newer than the guys that just went in, so be interesting to see. You would think, well, the longer they stay out, the better they are on the long run. Yeah, but you've got to balance it. Still, you got to balance that distance and the time left on the racetrack to make up that time. It definitely plays a factor in everything. If you can come back out and only be, I don't know, 3-4 seconds back, you might can make that up in the time you need. But if you come out and you're, I don't know, 12, 15, 18 seconds back, you're not making that time up. See Phillips and Nicoteri on pit road. Just going to start calling him his Art Nicotine. That's what it reminds me of every time I say it. Nicotero. Should cycle back around here with Clore. Ginningsman, unfortunately, still 5 seconds back. Well, I don't know. Ginningsman actually hasn't yet made his pit stop, though. Really just not. Boyles would be the one that's back. He's 7 seconds. And then Grusmacher, that huge, massive slip on pit road, that's gotten him way back. He's 7.4 seconds because he was right there on Clore. Definitely didn't want to see that. Yeah, curious on Olmacheski, pitted at lap 85. He is definitely stretching this thing. And what a caution right now would do for him. Whew.
What a caution. I think if anybody were to be saved by a caution right now, I think it would be that 38 of Grootsmacher. But even then, he's still a lap down, and Shane Clore, he's got the lucky dog almost ready to pass the leader even of Cole Macheski. Was he down on the apron for a second?
Who's that?
Was Clore down on the apron running 1 and 2? I thought I might have seen something.
Oh, he's right here. He's coming.
I might have just been seeing something. But yeah, he's coming. He's about to get his lap back.
Yep.
Which now Grootsmacher got past Boyles to allow him into the lucky dog position if Clore does get his lap back. Yep.
Grootsmacher, man, looking good where he's at. You got Cole Macheski coming on pit road. Now, Seymour and Gardner both pitted on lap 94, so they could push this a little bit further out than what the other ones are. They still got a 21-second lead over Clore right now. We've got back on the lead lap. You see Grootsmacher right there, back in 5th. If he can't do the same, I know he's probably, kicking himself a little bit. You see now the leader on pit road. Okay.
Gonna say I don't think that Grootsmacher, no, he's running slower than Clore by about 0.2, or not 0.2, but 0.1. So I don't think he's quite catching him yet, but I think that 38 really comes to life the longer the run goes on.
Yeah, and I'm going to say that's what he needs, but then again, he might run out of time. We'll just have to see how this thing plays out. You still got time right now, but we are getting on to about 40 to go here. The time is running out on the track. You see these old Seymour out here. He pitted lap 94. And that should hand over the helms to Clore and Grootsmacher. Going to be right there in 2nd, along with Boyles, hanging the 3rd, Alex Carr in 4th. When it cycles around right now, they're in 5th. And these 3 here could be on top of each other and have a battle.
Well, Boyles, he's on the older set of tires right there. Alex Carr, my bad, not Clore. Alex is going to shoot to his inside, hopefully clear him here off of 4, but I think Boyles is still there for now. So this little scuffle is going to allow the 38 of Grootsmacher to run away just a teeny bit, but I don't think it's going to be long before the 21's clear the 23, and right there he goes.
Yeah, Carr's able to make that pass, and you see Boyles fall back to 5th. Grootsmacher up to 3rd. Seymour still out here. Doesn't yet have to come on pit road, which he's probably going, man, I'd love to see the little yellow flag fly up here, but so far been a pretty good green flag run here tonight.
I mean, we've had great green flag runs recently,
Yeah.
so I always love seeing it. Cars a little spread out, yes, but hey, it's better than wrecking every 2 seconds.
Yeah, I know the admin's up our there going, whew, clean night. You see there is Genningsman coming on pit road, coming off of it. Shane Clore back here, about 16 seconds back, is in second. He'll take over the lead as soon as Michael comes on pit road. Bruce Mocker here. He's got Alex Carr breathing down his back door, though.
And if I'm that 38 car, I'm not going to worry about the 21 behind me too much right now. Just keep on what you're doing. Be smooth in your turns. Just let the car slowly work its way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he knows he's got a good long run car here. Hopefully that 21 trying to get up to him, yes, on fresher tires, just uses it a little bit too much as well as trying to get past him. Then 38 can get past him as well later on into a run.
And you see the pass trying right here from Cars. You look on that inside. Try to take that spot away. Not quite able to do it right then. Shane Clore takes over the lead. You see our leader Seymour coming on pit road now. Everyone's made it. Clore, Grusmacher both pitted at lap 140. Carr pitted at 148. Well, from our calculations, yes, they can make it. Now, a green-white checker. Can they make it? That's going to be the next one.
If we go into green-white checkered scenarios, I wanted to say people are going to come into the pits for fresh tires.
I'm with you on that.
Not just for gas, but for tires.
Especially when you've got Clore, Carr, Grusmacher, the top three. They've only pitted 3 times, so they have 1 set left, even if they took in tires every time they've been in. Boyles, on the other hand, though, I want to say he does have 1 set because it's showing him only pitting 4 times, but that 1 time he did not take any. Well, actually, pretty much most of them should have 1, so if we get a caution, yeah, I think you're coming on pit road. I'm with you. And you would think even, let's say if we had, 25 laps to go. Now, if we had 5 or 10 to go and the cars would come out, it's going to be a different ballgame. But if we have about 25 to 30 to go, which one would have to come out about now, but you still would be a little bit too early to say, well, just let me just run this thing all the way out, because you're going to use your tires up before the end of the race. As opposed to maybe 10 or 5 to go, yeah, hey, look, whole different race then. It's go time.
Run it out to the end, or maybe at that point, we talked about it, don't think 2 tires would be smart unless maybe that's a scenario.
Yeah, especially when I'm pitting here at lap 140, maybe like I said with Carr pitting at lap 148. I mean, I would like for it to be probably less than 10 to go if I did the 2 tire stop, because you know everybody's got 1 set. Clore and all those guys, everybody's pretty much going to take 4. And if you did 2 tires, it would be, well, we only have 12 cars on the lead lap. I don't know. If we had more cars on the lead lap, and it was maybe back in 20th, I could see it, but I don't know about 12. That one's close. That'd be close. It'd be a gamble. I'd have to be very confident in what my car could do. What about y'all out there? Anybody out there think you'd take 2 tires and say 5 to go, you take 2 tires, you're sitting back in 12th place? Yes, you would get up front, probably. You might not be even guaranteed to get out to the lead, but you might. I don't know. Wade Clore's been driving on them 4 tires all night long. It's gonna be, if it comes down to that scenario, it's going to be tough. Clore out front, 6-second lead right now with Carr sitting in second. Grusmacher there in the 3rd place. Boyle's hanging on to the 4th place spot. He's got Cole Macheski there in 5th. Greg Carr's been having a good run tonight. He's up here in the 6th. Gerlach there in the 7th. Kibbe, it's up 10 spots. Looking good there in the 8th place along with Phillips in 9th. And Joshua Hyatt, good run for him there in the 10th place spot. This guy's put on a clinic tonight, though. Floor.
Yeah, he started there on poles, led about every lap except during the pit cycles. So great show by him. You've got who you took the lead over from at the very end of that cycle, Seymour right behind him. But great show by the 72 car. I know we always say he's got some type of speed every single week, but today it's just, like you said, a clinic that he put on. Took the lead, not really giving it up during this last pit cycle. That mistake by Grutzmacher let him get a good amount of time on the car in second, and just ain't looking back.
No, he's not. Car's there in second. Let's say Grutzmacher holding the 3rd. I mean, they've had a good night. Them two of them themselves up 10 spots. Carr is, and Grutzmacher themselves. Boyle's another one that's been able to bounce back even after early on, not taking those tires and looking like, oh man, it's a big mess up. I'm gonna fall back. Caution fell right in his hands. He's able to come in, get back on the same cycle a little bit with these guys, and bounce back up 12 spots here in 5th place. So not bad.
Not bad in the slightest. We were kind of wondering what was going on as we saw him in and out of the pits a lot, especially when he just pit underneath the caution, and then he was the first one to come down pit road. Kind of guessed he used up his tires a little bit too much too early, but now kind of just settling.
Well, he pitted at lap 135, and that's taking him 65 laps. He's going to be right there on that bubble, along with well, they have to go back to Kibbe and them, but yeah, Boyles is the only one. I mean, because you get Cole Macheski pitted at 53 now. He's the longest one out here. He stayed out the longest of any of these guys. As Grutzmacher stayed out to he pitted lap 140, 148 for Carr, and 140 for Clore. Yeah, we'll see if Boyles is able to make this thing all the way. Either way, though, heck of a showing. Another good one there by Greg Carr, too. Just a little bit of a heartache for a couple guys. Hammonds, Fuse, Westwood, Stevens, JP in the back there. It's not the night that they want. Genningsman. He was coming through the field, but then just kind of got, stuck. I mean, still up 9 spots. Not a bad night for him. Right there in 15th. Just maybe not got the adjustments that he wanted, but he got stuck a lap down, had a penalty early in the race. Got him behind the 8 ball and just been kind of trying to fight back ever since.
Not only that, but also guys making adjustments through the race. I think we talked about it earlier, but hopefully making the right adjustments, and I think they did. To where he's not quite able to come up through the field the way we typically see he does.
Yeah, absolutely. He's right there in the 15th place spot. But Shane Clore with 25 to go here tonight. Kentucky style here for the Spartan Sim Racing League Master Series. And a good one there. He's still got a 6-second lead out front. I do not think we're going to see him on pit road. That's a caution flag.
I don't really think we're going to see anybody else on pit road.
Boyles
Now,
is the only one that I'm
Boyles is iffy.
yeah,
I agree with you there.
He's close. I think he can make it. But he's right there on that limit. I mean, I think he can make it. And then again, he didn't shock us that last time. He went a long way, and then he pitted early. right, Clover's still leading this one. Carr right behind him. Gruschmacher's there too. Cole Macheski up in fourth and Boyles. And you see right there, Cole Macheski's pulling up on the back door here. Gruschmacher about to have a battle for third.
And if they get side by side and it takes Kolmacheski a while to get past Grutzmacher, I think Boyles might be there right with them.
Yeah, how much?
Well, make it into a three-car tango.
And then it'll be the question of how much does Boyles want to push it? You know, if he's close on fuel, close on tires. So how much does he want to, push the envelope here?
Right now, he's just kind of hanging back, staying in the draft. So maybe helping him save just a little bit of fuel. Not quite having to be as hard on the throttle. Just let the two cars in front of him carry him as Grutzmacher. Whoa!
Oh! Well, that's one way to get around him. Wow! Boyles was sitting going, we were just talking about how's he going to get around him. Well, there you go.
There we go.
That's one way of doing it. Trouble. But, hey, what a save. What a save.
What a save indeed. I mean, there was a little bit of contact, but
you can see it right there.
Both the 69 and the 38 are still going.
Yeah, you can see the contact on Kolmacheski, and let's see if maybe it might have hurt Gruschmacher on the front. This doesn't look as bad as what Kolmacheski's does. I don't even see any damage on Gruschmacher, but we see a lot on Kolmacheski. Do you?
Looking around at the cars, and I don't see much.
Yeah, I mean, we see an awful light there on the front side of definitely might affect him a little bit. We'll have to see, but nonetheless, Boyles out front, or got out in front of those guys. Close call right there to the end with 18 to go here in this one. Flores still leading it. And Flores slowed up just a little bit. The guys behind him have, got it. The bad thing is he's slowing down. The good thing is on his side is he's 6 seconds ahead of them. So it's bad for Alex and him that far back. He's loving it. Clore is. These guys are wishing, man, and this is the part where Gruschmacher was saying, I didn't lose all that time, but close call between those two guys right there.
Yeah, I don't think that little bit of damage that, like you said, it's right there, that left front of the 69 Kolmacheski, I don't think it's hindering him too much. The car still seems pretty good through the corners and on exits.
Yeah. He looks pretty stable. Luckily, it didn't maybe knock the toe out of it or anything. But probably would have definitely affected the steering. So Gruschmacher's closing in a little bit now. We'll see as the run goes on here. Just a huge close call there. Good heads up with Boyles too, though. He was able to get around those two guys.
Yeah, he saw Gruschmacher with the wiggle in front, and I even saw him. He kind of lifted off a little bit, expecting something. He just gave him the time to go down below. Seymour.
Yeah, he's able to get it going. No caution here, but let's go back and see. And as we see it, we just see why. He just lost it. Went riding through the grass.
Sideways. Ooh.
I am surprised that did not trigger it.
Thankfully, no one really around him that could have came and hit him.
Yeah. Probably going to come on pit road if he's got a set of tires left. Well, no, he's going to take that thing real easy because it's going to be slick on him. Nonetheless, Clore's out front. And I think if anybody's saying no caution, this man right here, even with a new set of tires, or even with another set of tires, and we know if a caution comes out, everybody's coming in. That's probably just a given. But even with that, it brings up, can I get the restart? Can I get going again? It brings up a lot of variables. I mean, he's got a 6-second lead right now, and he's comfortable. You don't want all those variables.
And people are like, oh, it's just, they're all in the same cars. They're all driving the same track. It's just a left turn. Tell you what, it's not that easy.
No.
You've seen the 2 restarts we've had, the outside line, they've not had good jumps. There's been a major checkup there. So if you're on the outside, you're hoping it doesn't happen. And if there's cars in front of you, it's not something you can control what they do in their car. Meanwhile, if you're a core, you don't know if people are going to stay out or not. You're probably going to come into pit for fresh tires, hoping everybody else behind you does.
Yep.
There might be 4, 5, 6 cars that stay out, and now guess what? You got people on old tires in front of you. They're going to be slow on the restart, slow through the corners. You're going to have to manage your way through them.
Yeah, it's always a variable, like you say, that you just don't want to deal with, especially when you got this kind of lead. You're out front. You're just kind of in cruise control mode. This late into it, and many times we've seen guys have big leads like this, and then a caution comes out and it just gets wiped away. Something happens, and then the race gets. It's a frustrating feeling. We don't want to jinx it here because I know the more we talk about it, we'll say, no, go and get one. But it's racing, and it happens a lot. Ooh, get me in the wall a little bit there. We got Phillips right here, Gerlach behind them. Got a few cars right here on top of each other. Phillips is going to see if he can't, close the gap here with Kibbe and take maybe the 7th place spot from him.
Then not necessarily too far in front of them either. It's a great car. He got past Grutzmacher. So Carr's now into 5th. Grutzmacher's dropped down to 6th.
Mm-hmm.
They're about 4 seconds or so behind, but tell you what, the 38 ain't looking too good. He might fall further.
Yeah, up 7. That takes us back to, might have hurt those tires a little bit on that spin. Komacheski doesn't look like he got hurt as bad as maybe what Grutzmacher did. He was able to maintain a little bit here. Boyles, though, was the one who benefited from those two guys. Was able to get up to 3rd. It's not over with, though. Komacheski couldn't maybe reel him back in.
Maybe, or Greg Carr. He's got a head of steam rolling as well, that 36.
Yeah, he's right there, and that's what I think Boyles wants to see. Those two guys start battling. As we're down to about 7 to go here. I'll show you what our leader is right now. Still out front, 6 seconds. Leading this one here with Alex Carr right along with him. Those two guys are kind of by themselves. Because watching Boyles here in 3rd. Got a little lead here, but Komacheski's about to come under pressure here by Greg Carr. Ooh, ran in the wall there a little bit. Here comes Carr. He's looking.
Had a great run out of 2 lap car. JP Jones might play just a small factor. Both go down low on the 49. Gonna get around him. Great pass through the corner. Kind of even off of exit.
I think they're running Boyles down. Remember Boyles on the older set of tires of those two guys right now. That's why he probably wants to see those two, battle it out for a couple laps.
Greg, he's going to get right there to the quarter panel, but then just slots behind. Now dives it off into 3.
Good run.
Komacheski's going to stay high, hoping to get a bit of momentum off of 4. Tight squeeze, both with a little bit of wiggle, but I still think the 69's got a little bit more momentum. Greg Carr's not going to clear him this lap.
He's right there. How far does he drive it in there? Can't drive it in too far. They'll still say side by side through the turn here. See Boyles right there in front of him coming off. Komacheski still to the outside. He got, like I said, he got that drive coming off the turn. The momentum pushes him all the way down the back stretch into turn 3 and 4. Car's going to look, and he's going to clear him this time by. And I think it's going to be close if he has enough time to run down that man in front of him in Boyles.
Yeah, 3 laps. It's going to be a really tight find to do it, but going here through 1 and 2.
I mean, he's running about two tenths.
You're running him down a little bit.
Yeah, he's over 2 tenths faster. He ran an 87 to his 03, so it's getting there. I mean, he's faster.
Yeah, look at this gain through 4. 36, able to, whoa, as he slides off of 4 as we were talking. Great save,
wow.
But that's going to put, I think that Boyle sees that, and I think Boyle's kind of gave a sigh of relief.
Oh, yeah, because it pretty much car was there, but and that takes us back to what we've been talking about all race long is, this track is unforgiving. It is slick, and if you just give it a little bit too much, it's going to make you pay even a little bit newer tires. But at this point, everybody's, the tires are starting to get, give out. And but white flag out one more time for this man here. He has done an outstanding job all night long. As you can see him coming down the back stretch for the final time. Shane Clore out of turn 4 is going to win this thing here tonight at Kentucky in a dominating fashion. And Alex Carr going to bring her home here in second. And Boyles,
off of 4.
He's going to hang on to it. Cole Macheski just going to run out of time getting to him. Wow.
That little bit of slipping and sliding on 4 by Carr, I think, is what kept Boyles in 3rd.
Yeah. What a race. What a finish to this one here tonight. Awesome strategies out here.
And we were talking about as well. We didn't know Boyles we were thinking was going to be right on the line of making it or not. Well, he did.
He did. Yes.
I think another reason, not just tire wise, as to why. Sorry, my bad. Not just tires was him letting off, but also gas. I mean, he was slow through the corners. I think he was just kind of. I can't say that word on this channel, but kind of just like softly pedaling it, having a real gentle right foot on the gas to make sure he saved enough gas and tires to get him to the end.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, Shaggy, man. It was a good race out here. Well, let's get some of these guys up here and get a word with them. And we'll bring up the man who, like you said, man, threaded it out here tonight, Justin Boyles.
Boyles, it's Joe and Wesley in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, buddy. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. 3rd place finish. A little bit stressful maybe at the end there, seeing Cole Macheski in the 69, Greg Carr the 36 coming at you. But managed to hang on there.
Yeah, I was saving fuel because I was a little short. I honestly kind of accepted the best I was going to do was 5th, and then Dylan and Cole Macheski had their issue. So I got a couple free spots, and then it was just trying not to mess up too bad.
I mean, we were talking about it as well, that ever since you came in on your last stop, we didn't know if you were going to make it or not. So hearing you saying you were short on fuel kind of proved us right. We thought you were going to be right on the edge, tipsy-turvy about how much you were going to need to save. How much did you need to save that last run?
I didn't need to save a lot. I mean, I only had to save with like 2 to go. When Greg Carr was catching me, I was clutching it, and then I saw him get loose, and I was like, okay, I'm good. But I don't know. I ran like 66 laps every run, and with ease, and then that last one I did. But I also ran that last run a lot differently because I was burning the right front off real bad every other run, so I had to kind of manage my pace a little better.
Yeah, burning it up. We noticed, I think it was that last caution came out. You came in, took four tires, and kind of flew through the field, but then he staggered off, and you were the first down pit road. Did you just kill him way too much there trying to get up early on?
Yeah, I think so. I thought I'd be able to drive to the front and then set the pace, but Shane, he's on another level, dude. Like, I don't know. I would investigate him personally. I think he's cheating. I don't know. No, I thought I'd get to the front. I didn't. Tried to settle in, and I beat the right front up like a rented goat. So I was like, well, I probably need to chill on the last run. But the right front was so destroyed that I had no choice but to make the last run the longest run of the night. But I managed. I got third, and I backed into it, and I don't deserve it, but I'll take it.
Well, third place is good. Joe, you got anything for him?
I mean, outstanding run. Like I said, good fuel saving there. Now, when you didn't take those tires, were you a little bit worried that you're going to get off cycle and maybe not get back up front?
No, I thought so. I took an L at Homestead running out of tires, so I thought, well, let me save a set. It'll come in handy at the end, and then it ran green. So I don't know, man. It's whatever I need, the opposite usually happens. So I kind of, if I pit early, caution's going to come out. If I stay out, it's going to run green. It just, I don't know. It's just bad luck.
Definitely got the good luck tonight. Got third. Got anybody want to thank?
I just thank our team, man. Chad and Dakota. Tim did make it a night, but Chad and Dakota, they had a rough race. They kind of got caught up with the strategy there. It didn't work out in their favor, but they do a lot with setups and helping us out, having a fast car. And so I'll take this P3 for the team. We're going to rock and roll all night, party every day, I guess.
There you go, man. Justin Boyle's coming on the third. Let's bring up our second place man here, Alex Carr. Let's get a word with him.
Alex, it's Joe and Wesley up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, got a copy.
Well, man, second place. What a great run here. In Kentucky, we were talking about the difference between tires and what it was going to matter. The fuel, if tires was going to make it a whole fuel run, which some guys pitted earlier than we thought. So we thought tires definitely played a factor. How did you feel as runs went on?
Yeah, the tires were a big issue out there. The first run, I essentially just burnt up. I think I was like 11% on my right front. I had to pit or I was going to blow a tire. Second run, yeah, I just started to really just take it easy because especially with the long green flags you get in this league, you really just have to take it as easy as possible. And so that's what I did, and it paid off.
Well, paid off it did. Second place is not a win, but I'll take it any day of my life. Coming there, that final pit cycle, Grootsmacher, he had a little mistake on pit road and allowed you to be a lot closer to him coming out than when you went in. When you came out of pit roads and you saw him right in front of you, did you think just attack, or were you still kind of playing that game of just lay back and let everybody use it up?
A middle ground there. I did think, hey, I need to attack for sure, but at the same time, I knew I needed to save tires as well. So once I got close enough to him to where he would impact my car, I then said, yeah, okay, it's time to pass him. So then I did get a little bit more aggressive. So yeah, sucks that looks like he had a problem. He had a really good car out there, passed me in the second run there. But glad I was able to take advantage and kind of just have a nice, easy last phase of this race and get a P2.
Well, hey, P2 is always good. Joe, you got something for him?
Like I say, just great run tonight. I mean, was there any game plan that you could have done to maybe, run down Clore there?
Yeah, we were talking about that the whole time in the Team Birdie Racing chat. The answer is no. He was just too strong on the short run and the long run. He was about a tenth or two better on the long run. He was running 0.5s. Best I could run is a 0.6 on a good lap. And just on a short run, he was just fantastic as well. Honestly, and you should ask him this, I wonder if he was toying with us a little bit. Just once he got like a 2-second lead, just kind of coasted and just saved his stuff. Because, yeah, like it just seemed like he always had more tire and a little bit more speed. We were close, but just not quite as good as him tonight.
Like I say, close, but man, still got second tonight. Got anybody you want to thank for a good finish?
Yeah, I just want to thank Team Birdie Racing, Greg Carr, who's my uncle, Josh Hyatt, John Bender. They all had good races too. We're first in the team points, so this is another good performance here for Team Birdie. And then CFM as well. They put together great setups, and I appreciate all their help each week.
Well, there you go, Alex Carr bringing her home in second. But this guy here put on the clinic tonight. Shane, Joy in the booth, you got a copy?
Hey guys, how goes it?
Well, I tell you what a clinic tonight here. I mean, that you got to take us through maybe some of the strategy you had out there and some of the tire saving and fuel saving that you had, just to keep that thing out front like you did.
Yeah, I mean, they put the special tires on is what I was told, but no, on a serious note, the car was quick. Conti put out a great setup this week, put in a lot of practice laps to kind of feel out this car on this track, and really it was just be easy with the throttle to save those tires, and yeah, it ended up paying out.
Absolutely. I mean, anytime was you worried? I mean, or so to say, me and Wes was up here talking that there at the end, you had that big lead, 6 seconds. I guess anytime you worried me a caution might fly.
Oh, I was so scared a caution was going to come. I just I kept getting notifications that the track time kept just increasing. It got up to 114 at one point, and I was like, oh boy, somebody's going to spin. Someone's going to spin. Oh no. And yeah, luckily we stayed green, which is exactly what I wanted. But to answer your question about whether I was nervous or not throughout the race, I was scared every lap because I thought I was going to just lose it, self-sabotage, and that's why I was just extra soft with the throttle. And there's points where the guys would kind of catch me, and then I'd be able to take back a little bit of a gap. But yeah, it was a fun race. It was a good night.
No doubt. Good night, man, there. I tell you what, Wes, got anything for the man here and the dominating that he did?
I mean, nothing really. Like Joe said, put on an absolute clinic. You had the pole, and you kind of just ran away with it. One question, though, Alex and team and them down there, they want to know if you were kind of toying with them a little bit.
No, I wish I could say that I was, but I was definitely not. There was a lot of those lap traffic cars. It was just hard to see if they were going to let me by or if I was going to have to kind of race them a little bit and finding good spots to get by them without losing a lot of time. But yeah, so I mean, I'd say that would probably be the only point where they might think I was toying with them, but no, I was focused, head down, just trying to get to that checkered.
Oh man, still win always going to be good. 72 back in victory lane. I do got another question. What is the sponsor on that car? We couldn't quite read it when we were going through schemes.
Yeah, so it's an artist named Schur, SCHUR. He's been on my top playlist for Spotify lately, and this is one of his albums called the Unsure Mixtape.
Well, man, might be something I'll check out, but before we let you go, you got anyone you want to thank, sponsors?
Yeah, just always Team Conti for putting out a great set. The guys back at Goated Haas Esports for sticking it out. It's unfortunate Dave had an early exit, but he was with us there at the start. Hope Blair's doing good, and just you guys for broadcasting, and then everyone for putting on the show. So appreciate it.
Not a problem at all, man. Have a great night, and again, congrats on another win.
Appreciate it, guys.
Well, there you go, Shane Kluwer. Like we said earlier, putting on a clinic here tonight. Let's look at the unofficial results orders. That man, Shane Kluwer, winning it here tonight. Alex Carr coming home in second. Justin Boyle's there in third. Thomas Kolmacheski bringing home in fourth. Greg Carr up in fifth. We've got Dylan Grussmacher in sixth. William Phillips in seventh. Gerlach hanging on there to eighth, and Kibbe in ninth, along with Hyatt rounds out the top 10. Rest of the field here. Good night for some guys, man. We'll have to go wait on to the next one here, but what a race, and kind of just what we talked about all night long. Patience paid off there at the end. The tires, and just get that good long run, and definitely Kluwer had it all figured out tonight.
Yeah, he definitely did. Like we said, he kind of just ran away with it after getting the pole. Great restarts and a great start. The outside lane really had nothing to give him as a challenge because they all kind of stacked up. So he was able to kind of scamper off and then just played the pit strategy right and really helped him out there that last green flag stop. Got a massive gap with an unfortunate mistake by the number 38 of Grutzmacher that let him get a good easy cushion, and then it was just simple riding.
Absolutely. Well, folks, we're going to leave Kentucky here tonight for the Spartan Sim Racing League Master Series. That man right there, Shane Kluwer, put on the clinic and put it in victory lane. But for myself and everyone, have a good night.